Hi everyone. So in this video we will be discussing about the coding question that got asked in today's shift 26th March. So we will be discussing about the coding question in this video. Okay. Also make sure to like this video. Also one thing that you will be getting the link of the mock test series in the description so you can purchase the mock test series. The major thing is all the test which you will be getting the mock test. Okay. The level will be very similar to TCS NQT. So you can attempt the live test. After attempting the live test you will be seeing your rankings. Based on your rankings you can judge yourself that what ranking you are getting, what ranking other students are getting. Based on that you can judge your performance. Okay, so these live tests will be helping you out. So you can purchase the TCS NQT mock test series if you have your exam on 1st or 3rd April, and there are a lot of mock test and live tests are available for practice. Let's solve this question which got asked in today's shift. This question is not difficult. Okay, let's talk about this. First of all, the question is saying maximum product subset, which is saying you are given an array of integers can include a negative, 0 and positive. We need to find the maximum product possible by multiplying any subset of elements. So suppose this is the array given. So here we can choose any elements. We need to find out the maximum product from this array. Okay, so if you will see these elements, the maximum product will be 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2. Okay, so that will be 24. Okay, now let's discuss about this. Okay, we can do this, but how we are doing this? If we can do this in maths, then definitely we can do this in coding as well. Okay, so first of all, we will try to understand that with the mathematics how we will be doing this. Okay, suppose this is the array 1 2 3 4. Okay, what we can do here is all the elements are positive. So if all elements are positive, what we need to do is we will multiply all the elements, and that will give us our answer. Like if you will calculate this is 24. That's what we can get as maximum. Okay, suppose there is 0 here, 0 2 3 4. So we can, if there is any zeros, we can ignore the zeros and we can multiply all positive elements. Okay, that will give us our answer. Okay, now these two conditions are sorted and solved. Okay, now coming to the next condition. Suppose there is odd number of odd number of negative elements. For an example, there is -1, -2, -3, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, suppose here we need to find out the maximum product from this array. Okay, what will be the maximum product? Let's solve this with maths. If we can solve this with maths, definitely we can solve this with coding. Okay, so that's how you actually need to think in your exam. Don't write the logic first, please think in your mind first via maths. After solving this question using maths, you can solve in coding. Okay, so if we want to get the maximum product from here, we will multiply all the elements from positive elements, right? So that's 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. Okay, now from negative elements, first of all, if there are total odd number of elements, we will be ignoring one element, so it will make it even. And which element we will be ignoring? We will be ignoring the maximum value from negative, right? So the maximum value from the negative element is -1. Okay, if we will include this, it will not give us maximum product, because if we want to get the maximum product, we will be multiplying with the smallest elements of negative, right? So that will be -3 and -2. Okay, so multiply by -3 and -2. This will give us the maximum product from this array, right? So it's 6 multiplied by 6, that is 36. So 36 will be the answer. So see, now it comes a very important point, a very important point. Okay, if we have total even number of negative numbers, then the minus minus will get cancelled. Okay, so what we can do is, if we have even number of negative numbers, we will be multiplying all the elements and we will be ignoring the zero. Okay, we will be multiplying all the positive elements, we will be multiplying all the negative elements, and we will be ignoring the zero. That way we can get the maximum product. Only condition which we need to use is, okay, which will be different, okay, because we will be doing all multiplication after ignoring the zero for either if the all elements are positive, all elements are positive, and the element count of the negative elements are even, okay. But only one condition which we need to use is if the negative elements are odd, then what we need to do is we need to remove the maximum element from negative, okay, and then we will be multiplying all the elements, okay. That's what we did in the example, right? So that will be our logic. I think the logic is clear, okay. So it's simple. First of all, we will be storing the array size in n, okay. If n is equals to 1, return arr of only one element is there, we will be returning the first element itself, okay. Now for storing the maximum negative element, if you remember, in our code what we have stored, we have removed the negative element, the maximum element from negative, right? That we will be storing in this max negative, okay. In max negative we will be storing that element, okay. So the also we will be storing the count of the negative elements, okay, because just we have discussed we will be needing two things: the count of the negative elements if it is even or odd, okay, and we will be also storing the maximum negative element. So if the count is odd, so we can remove that element, okay, and the counts of zero as well we will be storing, okay, and the product, the final product value we will be storing here in the product, okay. Now we will be looping our array, okay. If the current element is 0, we will be increasing the count of 0 and we will continue our loop, okay. If the element is less than 0, okay, if the element is less than 0, then we will be increasing the count of the negative element, okay, because we need to count how many negative elements are there, if they are odd or even, okay. Also we will be checking if this element is the max negative element, so we will be storing the value of max negative element by doing max of max negative comma x, okay. So that way we can store, we can check all the elements and we can store the value of the maximum negative element, okay. Then after this condition we can multiply the value of all elements, right? So product multiply by x, okay. It doesn't matter if it is a positive element, if it is a negative element, okay, we are multiplying each and every element, right? We are multiplying each and every element. It doesn't matter if it is negative or positive, okay. At last we will be checking the count, based on that we will be doing that, okay. So that way we will be getting the whole product, okay. After getting the whole product, we will be checking if the count of 0 is equals to n. That means if all elements are 0, okay, if all elements are 0, we will be returning 0, okay, we will be returning 0. If the count of 0 is equals to n, if the all elements are 0, we will be returning 0, right, as an answer. Then we will be checking if the count of negative element, okay, if the count of negative element is odd, okay, if the count of negative element is odd, okay, then we will be checking if, then we are checking one more special case, okay. If the count of negative element is 1, that means only one negative element is there, okay, and count of 0 plus count of negative is equals to n, okay, count of 0 plus count of negative element is equals to n, then also we will be returning that the value as 0, okay. Then also we will be returning the value of as 0, okay. Because if there is only one negative element, okay, if there is only one negative element and all the other elements are 0, so the maximum value which we get from the array, that will be 0 only, okay. So that's why we will be directly returning 0, okay. After that, okay, if the negative element count is odd, okay, what we need to do is whatever the maximum element is, we multiplied all the elements here, right? So product multiply by x we did, right? So we will divide our product by the max negative because we need to remove that element, right? So we will be dividing that by max negative, okay. Then at final we will be returning our product, okay. So by this logic what we are doing here, I will just explain you in summary. Suppose this is our array -2 -3 -4 2 3 4, okay. So we are multiplying all the elements, okay. So we are doing -2 multiply by -3 multiply by -4, okay, multiply by 2 multiply by 3 multiply by 4. We did this, okay. So after that we will be actually calculating the product, okay. So it will be 24 multiplied by 24. Okay, so it will be minus 24 multiplied by 24. Okay, this will be our product value. Okay, now after computing this, we will be checking the count of negative element. So count of negative element here is 3, right? If the count of negative element is 3, we will be storing the maximum negative element also. So the maximum negative element is minus 2 here, right? Minus 2 here. So we will be doing divided by minus 2. So it will be 12. So 12 multiplied by 24. Okay, this will be our final answer. Okay, this will be our final answer. And even if you will look here, if you want to find out the maximum answer from this, okay, definitely we will be ignoring the smallest negative element or the maximum element, okay, from here, and whatever the count is we will be getting, that will be our final answer. Okay, so that's what we are doing. Also we are tackling some special cases so that all test cases should pass. Okay, so the question is simple. If you can solve this question using maths, which we have discussed, right? Like multiplying all the positive element and multiplying all the negative element as well, and if the count is even, no problem at all, because even count will cancel out the negative sign. But if the count is odd, we will be ignoring the maximum element, okay, from negative. So that's what we will be doing in this question. So I hope this question is clear. And see, I'll be just showing you the Java solution as well. See the this is the Java solution. Okay, please check here. Okay, and this is the Python solution. Please check here. Okay, it is almost same. Also, if you got the inputs in comma separated array like this, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, we already discussed how to split, right? We use the split function. We can directly split this array using comma. So using comma, you can split this, okay? And also if there are extra white spaces, you can use the while loop, okay? How to take coding input? In that video, we already discussed about this. So I don't think so that in taking the input, there should be any issue. Thank you so much for watching.